and welcome to another video with me, Andrea. Oh, I'm looking rough today. Sorry everyone. Anyway, I wanted to do a video about midwives and doulas today. I was specifically asked to do this video, but I'm really happy I was because honestly, this is a topic that I really feel passionately about. Oh, first I want to show you guys one of my new maternity outfits. So I got this like tank top. I don't know, it's just longer, so when the belly grows, it's not like I've grown very much, but if I push my belly out and kind of fake a belly, it's got some good growth. And then I got these like boyfriend jeans kind of looks. I don't know, I think they're cute, and they've got the stomach band. So I ordered it online, which is always risky, and some of the stuff fit and some of it didn't. But anyway, I'm excited to have another pair of pants that fits me because I get so bloated. And as my mom said yesterday, my thighs have gotten huge. Thanks, Mom. So anyway, midwives and doulas, specifically midwives, I wanted to talk about today. So there's, a lot of misconception about midwives, and there's also a lot of misconceptions about OB-GYNs, but there's some clear facts. So the first fact is that if you go with an OB-GYN, you are having a hospital birth. OB-GYNs will not come to your home. They will not come to a birthing center. They will stay in the hospital environment. Midwives will happily do a home birth and a birth center birth and a hospital birth. So you're not stuck with anyone, and you're not stuck out of the hospital. A lot of midwives, including the ones I'm using, work within hospitals and do numerous hospital births. Midwives tend to take, or do take, the more holistic approach to labor, whereas OB-GYNs approach it from a very medical perspective. And this is the real clincher, okay? When you're pregnant and when you're giving birth, you are not sick, okay? You are not, you should not be treated like you have no knowledge of the process. Like, yeah, you might not understand all the lingo and whatever, but your body is made to do this. You are naturally made to do this. And a lot of situations, OB-GYNs and hospital environments try and take away that natural aspect of labor and turn it into more of a, okay, let's just get this baby out. We don't want this. We don't want this. We could give you a C-section, sort of thing. And a lot of women who have hospital births end up feeling really, really kind of out of control of their labor, and that other people are kind of telling them what to do and when to do it. Midwives allow you to kind of take control. If you say, I don't feel good in this position, I want to get up on all fours, or I want to get in the bath, or I want to, and this is whether you're in a hospital or not. Your midwife will allow you to move around and not be consistently monitored. And actually, I think in some hospitals you will have to be consistently monitored, so I might be wrong there, but in a birthing center or in a home birth, your doctor is going to be really supportive of you doing or your midwife is going to be very supportive of you doing whatever you want. So if you want to, sit on an exercise bowl or whatever, they do intermittent monitoring of the baby and your heartbeat so that you're not attached to things all the time, and you can kind of go around and move around if that's what you want to do. But the reason why that's so important is because we have created a really senseless position for labor, if you think about it, right? Just common sense. Something's coming out of you, and we've got you like this on your back. So we're not helping with this at all. Whereas with the midwife, you'll find that you're often standing, or you're sitting, or you're squatting on a stool. That's helping the body natural process. Like, imagine if you had to poo lying down. Like, that would just be weird, You have your stomach muscles need to be in use, and it's just so much easier to crunch down like this than it is to go, And that's a lot of reasons why in hospitals you see more interventions, more episiotomies, more C-sections, more Pitocin and labor-inducing methods, because if you're on your back, the baby is not, and you are not in the right position for labor to occur in a progressive way. The other thing about midwives is they're with you that entire labor. So as soon as you get to the birthing center, or as soon as you arrive, they arrive to your home. They're staying, they're, with you, they're checking you, they're helping you move, they're working with your husband or your doula to make sure that you're comfortable and relaxed and that you're keeping your breathing and your everything. In a hospital environment, that doctor isn't coming in until you're like ready to have the baby then. So you've got different nurses coming in, changing their shifts. You've got, just nurses essentially. And then eventually the doctor just kind of shows up and is like, catches it. For a lot of people, and for me in particular, that's not a very ideal situation. I don't want someone just coming in at the end and kind of catching the baby and barking orders to me or whatever, like, come on, okay, push a little harder. I don't want that. I want someone who's with me and really feels like a partner in this experience. The other huge difference between OBGYNs and midwives is that an OBGYN is educated in their degree on a breadth of gynecological information. So people would see an OBGYN if they had a pervasive UTI or, vaginal pain during intercourse, or so many different reasons. People only go to a midwife for labor and birthing and delivery and pregnancy. They, in their degrees, specialize specifically in labor and delivery and pregnancy, whereas an OBGYN covers a breadth of topics. Now, some people may like that extensive amount of knowledge. Personally, I don't think it's necessary. So I want to see someone whose main concern is just labor, birth, pregnancy, postpartum. I don't want someone who is, also thinking of all the other things and has all that other background. An OBGYN has many purposes, and you'll see one for sure in your life. Oh, it's almost a guarantee if you live in North America that at some point in your life you're going to see an OBGYN, but not for labor and delivery, Which, when you think about going to a hospital, what do you think about? You think about being sick. You think about being actually really sick when you go to the hospital. But when you're giving birth, you're not sick. You're not really sick. So you shouldn't feel like you're in an environment with sick people. And that's another thing, when you're in a hospital environment, there's so many different viruses and bacteria there that you're not going to find in other environments. And a lot of biologists and germaphobes will tell you that hospitals are some of the dirtiest places to be. You'd think they'd be so clean, but no, there's people coughing and, with different diseases, and you never know. So I just prefer midwives, clearly, because I think, they're allowing women to have a more natural approach to labor and a more personal experience that's empowering. And I want to be careful, though, because at the same time, a lot of women go with OBGYNs and hospital labors and get an epidural and do everything. And I have nothing against those women, and I have nothing against those experiences. You have to do what's right for you. So I'm not saying this is the right way and that's the wrong way. I'm saying this is the way I think is what I would prefer. But I'm not everyone, clearly. So, you have to do what's right for you. The next kind of topic is whether to have a doula or not. And you can have a doula with a hospital OBGYN birth, or with a birth center home birth with a midwife, or a midwife hospital birth, either or. And what a doula is kind of like what a husband should be during labor, but is completely unqualified to be, which is a coach and a support system in a lot of ways. Husbands, I can imagine and have seen in different labor videos, are unqualified to be your coach during labor. They see things that they don't understand, and they're seeing their wife, potentially in a large amount of pain, and they're just as confused as, the woman might be, or more confused, and it's just difficult. Like, I feel for the men too, not nearly as much, but, they are put in a position where they're kind of just like unknowing, and then they're expected to coach us and do all these breathing exercises with us, but like, how are they really supposed to know? So a doula really takes on the role of this supportive woman who is there for you and coaches you, and she often will prenatally come and do some coaching with you and work out a birth plan, and then she's kind of your bodyguard during that birth. So if some doctor comes in and is like, we need to do this, she'll be like, no, it's our plan to do this, and I would like to first try at this attempt at holistically doing it rather than this medical attempt. So she's really great for women who don't really have like that kind of fighter in them. And even women who do have that fighter in them, when you have been in labor for like 10, 12 hours, you'd be surprised that you're just kind of like, what? You're not really in that mode. So she kind of helps you keep on track with that stuff. And I'm specifically doing a hypnobirth with a midwife and a doula. And my doula does the hypnobirthing classes with the husbands, and she helps the husband know more, so he is more prepared, but she's still there for, that extra support. And yeah, so I think doulas are amazing. I think any woman who's used a doula will only say positive things, and I think midwives are absolutely amazing, and they're a lost art that's finally coming back into acceptance. And if you go to the UK and most of Europe, like, unless you have what they call a high-risk pregnancy, you will be automatically sent to a midwife, not an OBGYN. And so slowly but surely the world is unmedicating or just turning birth into something more in tune with what it was and what it can be, rather than treating it like a medical issue. It is just a natural bodily process. It's almost like, would you go to the hospital if you had your period, or if you were taking a really big poo? It's like, no, that's something your body just does, and this is something your body just does. And yes, there are lots of complications that can occur, but I'm a true believer that if you are tense, and if you're thinking about all the pain, and if you're thinking about all the things that can go wrong, you're going to tense up that whole passage, right? And the complications are way more likely to occur. Now, that's not me saying that if you had a complication during labor, it's your fault for being tense. That's not what I'm saying. And but at the same time, a lot of things that happen in hospitals in terms of complications have been shown to be avoidable during home or birth center births. So I hope you guys found that this helpful, and I'll try to look prettier for my next video. Have a great day, guys.